Welcome to the Vandalia Railroad Company. This is our HO gauge railroad. We have 4 corner pieces out here right now, and we have 2 straight pieces out here right now. We have 2 more straight pieces over in the corner that we could put here if we wanted to, but we don't have enough room, so we didn't. We have an intermodal train, a coal car train, and a freight train going right now. And this is our coal mine module, and here's the coal train. It's coming through the coal silo. This conveyor brings the coal up to the coal silo and loads it into these cars right here on the coal train. And except it really doesn't move the coal, it's just a model, so that doesn't really happen. It'll come around again and you can see it. This is actually a John Armstrong modeling concept to have a coal mine and a power plant on the opposite side of the scenery divider. Now, as the train comes through the coal silo on this side and the coal house on this side, it's dumped into a pit, then augered out of the pit and conveyed up here into the transfer building, and then into the power plant, the powerhouse, to run it. This is our intermodal yard. We have our intermodal containers, which mean they can travel by truck, train, or sea, ship. This is our MyJack and our modified forklift. The MyJack is lifting this container onto the semi to the seaport, which is where it is, then to the next country, to a truck or a train, then to warehouse or distributor. And here the modified forklift is loading onto another frame. This is soon to be our Harrison Steel coke and carbon plant. This is our Terre Haute module. Down here we're going to have the Millsbury plant, and down here Bram grain, and here's the river bridge, and right here is going to be the river where it's cut in. We have 2 scenic modules and 2 yard modules, and this is one of our yard modules. Right over in the corner down that way on this yard module, right here, we're going to have a diesel refueling and sanding point. Down here on either one of the yard modules, we're going to have a intermodal transfer point where the intermodal containers are transferred from the train to the truck for distribution. And this is one of the modules I use most.
Why?
Because, well, it's mostly the place where you get the train together, because most of the cars are split up. Like, we have all these coal cars, none of them are actually on a train. But in this place we have all these switches down this way where we can put a train together without actually having to pick them up, and that makes it more realistic and more fun.
Why do you have 2 engines on this train?
Well, the box cars are so heavy we had to put 2 engines on it. There's also engines that you can get to make it look like you have two engines on it when actually you don't. They're called dummies. They're just like a regular car. No motors inside them. They just sit there as the engine pulls them. But this one is so heavy we have to have two actual running engines. We also had a coal train like that.
Where's your coal train?
Coal train is stopped.
What are you doing now?
Well, I'm starting up the coal train.
What?
The controller's over here. Right here we have the intermodal controller, the boxcar controller, and the coal train. This is the intermodal train, which has just left the yard, the boxcar train, which is just entering the yard, and the coal train, which is coming your way at about 30 miles per hour scale.
Can you tell me what kind of engines are coal in the train?
Well, the coal train is an L&N. The boxcar train has a Sioux and a Seaboard.
What type of engine?
What type of engine? Oh yeah, GP35 engines is basically what we're using right now.
On the boxcar train?
Yeah, well, on the boxcar train.
SD45.
And on the intermodal, we're using an SD45, which is coming right in here, Conrail. And the coal train is over here. It's coming around again. It's a U-30, or a U-boat, as our grandpa calls it. Our intermodal train is a 1/8 scale model of the actual thing.
1/8 scale mile
Oh.
long.
Oops. Oh, I think actually what he meant was the yard is 1/8 a square mile long.
Scale mile.
Scale mile.
So the train.
So is the coal train. Pretty long.
HO scale, 1 inch is 87 inches.
1 inch in our scale that we're using here, the HO gauge, 1 inch equals 87 inches. didn't have it all done. We didn't have scenery on it, but it did pretty good there. We're hoping to have it at another train show in about March, all done. In a March train show. I'm not sure if we're going to have it there this year, but maybe next year, all done, with scenery and everything. So, this track that you're looking at right now is important. This is the track that enters the yard. And,
See, that switch brings them in. That track, or we'll switch back here and bring them in. Because this inside track is already on the inside track.
Like I said earlier, there's a lot of switches. And the switches are important because there's a switch over there that brings it up to this track.
So you gotta point this out, honey. You gotta point out where you're looking at. Just get there.
This one right here. Okay. This one right here, this switch right here, brings it up to this track right here after it goes over the crossover. Otherwise, it probably wouldn't do that. This switch right here behind the crossover can bring it up to this track right here. That one or that one. Depends on how you set them, how you have them set up. So it's very important to get your cars where you want them. Uh-oh. Got a car on the ground? Yeah, we did.
On the ground.
Safety hearing. We stayed up till like 2 o'clock in the morning trying to fix one train because we couldn't get the coal train to work right. And then we put some weights in it and it started working good. Well, yeah, the weight is important. Otherwise, cars will fall off the track if they're too light. And you get up to a certain speed, they'll just fall over. So the weight is important to keep them down on the track so that they don't get on the ground like that happened earlier. I think that was because of a switch or something. Our cars, we have a lot of them. We got them from our former pastor, Reverend Dennison. He does G-scale. He's got a huge layout. And he gave us his old HO stuff because he doesn't do HO anymore. We just bought a lot of stuff, a lot of HO things. So we've got a lot of stuff to run.